New mini sewing machines are getting more useful, but the interesting part is what's actually changed. From manual repair tools to newer handheld machines with better power and controls. I've narrowed down 5 that are worth knowing about, and one stands out for giving you the most useful combination without going full size. Stay to see which one, and subscribe before your sewing pile starts judging you. Number 5, Ngheia 2026 New Manual Mini Sewing Machine. The Ngheia is the strange one here because it doesn't need electricity at all. It's a manual handheld machine, model JND HG 23623, aimed at pocket mending, clothing repairs, fabric work, curtains, DIY projects, and sewing practice. There's no motor, battery compartment, USB connection, or charging system. That makes it particularly suited to keeping in a small sewing kit for jobs like a loose pocket, damaged hem, or small section of fabric that needs attention. The handheld format lets you approach the repair directly instead of working across a conventional machine bed. It's also much simpler mechanically than the powered machines above it. But that simplicity comes at a price. There's no powered needle movement, no electric speed control, and no practical advantage for long seams or larger sewing projects. I wouldn't buy this expecting a miniature version of a full sewing machine. I'd buy it specifically because it is a no-power manual repair machine. That unusual design earns its place. The limited sewing capability keeps it at 5. Number 4, EXLEAF 2026 New Portable Handheld Sewing Machine. EXLEAF goes in a completely different direction. This is an electric handheld machine weighing about 0.64 pounds, powered by either 4 AA batteries or DC 6 volts. That battery setup is probably its most useful feature because you can keep it ready for a repair without sitting beside an outlet. The machine has a fastening plate and needle arm lifting wheel, and its small body is aimed at quick stitching, clothing repair, DIY sewing, and beginner use. Think hems, loose seams, small tears, quick alterations, and craft work, rather than feeding a whole garment through a machine. The physical size is the attraction here. At roughly 0.64 pounds, it is genuinely easy to carry. The downside is equally specific. The handheld design gives you far less fabric support than a tabletop mini machine, especially once the material gets bulky or the seam gets long. I prefer this over Ngheia for repeated small repairs, simply because you get powered operation and 2 power methods. But I still wouldn't confuse it with a compact machine designed for full sewing projects. Number 3, YNGKMEA. YNGKMEA is where the numbers start getting interesting. You get a 0.88-pound body measuring roughly 8.5 times 2.4 times 4.6 inches, plus 2 sewing speeds and both battery and USB operation. The listed rates are about 375 stitches per minute on battery power and 300 stitches per minute through USB. More importantly, it arrives with a surprisingly useful repair kit: thread, needles, scissors, threader, measuring tape, seam ripper, buttons, and pins. There's also a stated capacity of up to 4 layers of medium weight fabric. That combination gives you more than the usual bare-bones handheld machine. You can slow down for more controlled work, switch to battery power when you're away from an outlet, and use the included seam ripper, measuring tape, and cutting tools for the repair itself. The machine is still aimed at quick clothing repairs, hems, alterations, crafts, and beginner sewing, but the feature package is much more complete. For me, the standout details are the 2 speeds, 375 SPM battery operation, 300 SPM USB operation, dual power, 4-layer fabric claim, compact dimensions, and accessory coverage. That's enough additional capability to put it clearly ahead of the first 2. At number 2, the TUWAFE 2026 New Handheld Sewing Machine is the one I'd look at if you want the newer handheld format without going all the way down to the most basic repair machines. It's built around a compact, cordless design with a built-in rechargeable battery, USB charging, and a 2-speed sewing system. You get the option to control the pace instead of being stuck with one fixed operating speed, which is useful when moving from a straight hem to a tighter section around a pocket or sleeve. The machine is designed for quick stitching, clothing repairs, alterations, crafts, and beginner sewing, with the small body making it easy to keep in a drawer, travel bag, or repair kit. The handheld construction also lets you work on individual sections of clothing without needing a large sewing setup. I particularly like the combination of rechargeable operation, USB charging, 2-speed control, compact size, and portable use, because those features make more sense together than adding a pile of unnecessary functions to a machine this small. It's still not what I choose for long garment seams or heavy fabric, but for everyday repairs and small DIY work, TUWAFE has a much more useful feature balance than the basic handheld machines. For you, this is the point where the new mini sewing machine idea starts feeling practical rather than gimmicky. And at number 1, the CURYMAY 2026 new handheld sewing machine is the one I'd pay the most attention to in this group. The newer CURYMAY design combines portable handheld construction, cordless operation, USB power, and 2-speed sewing while keeping the machine small enough for quick repairs and travel. What separates it for me is the balance rather than one flashy specification. You get the convenience of a handheld machine, the flexibility of portable power, and enough operating control to make it more useful than a single-speed emergency stitcher. It's aimed at clothing repairs, hems, loose seams, alterations, crafts, and beginner sewing, which is exactly where this form factor makes the most sense. The compact body is easier to store than a tabletop machine, and the cordless setup means you can keep it ready for a repair instead of setting up a complete sewing station. I'd still draw the line at thick stacks of fabric, long production seams, or projects where precise fabric feeding is critical. A handheld machine simply doesn't give you the same working surface as a conventional machine. But for new portable mini sewing machine, CURYMAY gives you the feature combination I'd want most: cordless operation, USB power, speed control, compact handling, and repair-focused versatility. That makes it my number 1, not because it tries to do everything, but because it gets the core mini machine job right.